here. Grixis Death Shadow against blue-white control. These players are in game number 2, it appears. And Danny has just resolved a Thoughtseize, and he's got a Death Shadow on the battlefild.
It looks like he's got a mess of cards in his hand still, too.
Yep. Here's a Water Grid that's going to the battlefield untapped, so Death Shadow has become a 5/5.
Kyle, my car mate on the way up here, along with Eric Smith.
Yeah.
So he said, I want to play blue-white control, and I just want to play against creature decks.
Well, he's found one, sort of.
But he's down a game. So sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for.
That's true. Street Wraith will cycle.
Because apparently he picked up a loss to JGM last round.
Well, who's beating that kid?
Well, not many people,
I don't think
apparently.
blue-white control does very well against Vengevine, to be fair. That seems pretty hard for him to beat.
Sure, he has some pieces. Path to Exile, Detention Sphere.
There are ways. There are ways.
But yes, that deck just looks very good.
Yeah. Gurmag Angler.
Ooh, what's on that fish? Does he have a mustache?
I'm not quite sure what's going on there. A little alteration. And Death Shadow is Jessup's at 4. Shane is at 13. That would be a great time for Supreme Verdict. I'll tell you what.
One just got discarded last turn.
Well, that's going to be tough. Here's Detention Sphere. Resolves. Death Shadow, kindly leave.
Get out of here.
All right, let's go back over to Jessup. Path to Exile on the upkeep. Good sequencing. If he's going to play a Stubborn now, he's going to use mana on his own turn to do it. Danny looking at 2 Snapcaster Mages. And now getting a land out of his deck from the path. Search up a basic swamp. All right.
Looks like Danny's rocking one sleight of hand in his Death Shadow deck
That's
this weekend.
fun. I know that's something that our Relax has been a fan of in these types of decks. More cantrips, card manipulation, however you want to define them. Because here's a Snapcaster Mage.
Sure. The 4 Street Wraith, 4 Sneering Visions, 4 Thought Scours just aren't enough.
No, it's more about like he just wants a high density of ways to find the best cards in his deck.
Sure.
Yeah. I know Ari played this type of build of Death Shadow at Grand Prix Las Vegas to some success. There's an island. Pass the turn back. Will Jessup. Shane with a Rest in Peace. Graveyards are done for, which means Snapcaster Mages, Gurmag Anglers, Tassigers, they stink. Here's a Tectonic Edge. That's fun. Might want to blow up that Blood Crypt. Yep.
Kablooey.
Yeah, no red mana now here for Danny Jessup.
And Kyle said one of the best ways to fight these Death Shadow decks is with enchantments. So he showed up with the Detention Sphere that you see, the Rest in Pieces, and then he has Ruined Halos as well.
Okay.
So he feels like if he can get a Rest in Peace on the board and then Ruined Halo the Death Shadow, you know, the opponent can't cast any of their Delve creatures because they're just too expensive. And the Death Shadow is no longer a threat because the Ruined Halo just can't be gotten off the board.
Yeah, just going to stay there forever. Here is a Gideon of the Trials. Going to plus on Snapcaster Mage. Pass the turn back. Jessup will play a Snapcaster Mage. We're going to head back his way. Gideon of the Trials is a card we're definitely going to take a look at.
Yeah, rarely seen.
Yeah, 3 mana, 3 loyalty, +1 until your next turn. Prevent all damage target permanent would deal. And then 0 ability, you can turn into a 4/4. Another 0 ability, you can get an emblem. And you can't lose as long as you control a Gideon. Here comes Snapcaster Mage. Where is it going to go?
Who wants some? Yeah, and this little Gideon actually does a great job of distracting the opponent.
Yeah.
Where they feel like they should get it off of the board, but it takes multiple creatures to do it, and then the blue-white deck has some wrath effects, so they want the opponent to have multiple creatures on the board.
Definitely happy to see them overextend into trying to take care of Gideon.
Yeah.
A Ruined Halo. All right. Could just name Snapcaster Mage here. 0 this maybe? Attack for 4? All right, there's a block. Fair enough. Let's see what this is. Ruined Halo. Been a long time since we've seen this card, but it is a pretty good one against Valakut, much other things. Can't forget that it exists. And he's named Death's Shadow. So it looks like Kyle's going to lose his Gideon. Okay.
Ooh, and it looks like Danny drew a great one here.
What did he draw? Ooh, Liliana's
Liliana is great.
Liliana's absurd right now.
Going to be able to get Kyle's last card.
Yeah, his last card's a Cryptic Command, too. Jessup trying to figure out what he wants to discard. All right, Cryptic and Steam Vents. Gonna need a big draw step here from Kyle. It's just a land, pass the turn back. Liliana gonna change the way this game is being played. Jessup will draw a card.
Yeah, it
Picked
often
up a Polluted
does.
Delta.
She is not a nice planeswalker.
Not at all. Liliana goes up. Snapcaster comes in. Shane down to 9. He'll draw a card. He will pass. Looks like that may be a path, and it is. No lands to search up. Jessup will just draw another copy of Fatal Push. Liliana's going to go up, push down, pass. Can Shane find an answer to the Planeswalker? He'll play a Spreading Seas. Take care of that Watery Grave. Pass the turn back. Jessup, another Stubborn Denial to go along with a Fatal Push. Liliana goes up, Stubborn Denial goes down along with Supreme Verdict.
And I'm surprised Jessup is really valuing this Fatal Push.
Yeah. Let's see, Liliana's going to go Ultimate now. Let's chop him up. Can't forget about that Detention Sphere that's there too. It's got a creature underneath it.
Yeah, you got to put the Ruined Halo and the Detention Sphere in the same pile.
Yep.
You don't want to get your Death Shadow back and then still have that Ruined Halo on the board.
That's one piece to a pretty complex puzzle here.
Yeah, and then, you know, Danny has to weigh how much he values this Rest in Peace.
I think he just said lands versus enchantments. Yeah. Lands versus enchantments.
I'm a little surprised by that split.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Kyle just has to keep the lands.
Yeah, Spreading Seas go away too.
Sure.
All right. Liliana's at 1. Death Shadow's back. Yeah, they're trying to figure out exactly where Rest in Peace will go.
Yeah, no one knows how that card actually works.
And oddly enough, this Death Shadow is lethal. Picked up a Mana Leak. I don't think there's an answer here. And also there's a Stubborn Owl here for Danny. So he's pretty well covered in for lethal. Looks like it, and that's going to do it. Danny Jessup's going to win this match over Kyle Shane, 2-0. Grixis Death Shadow with a timely Liliana the Veil. Going to take care of blue-white control.